Greetings and welcome to South Africa Unfiltered. Today we explore the challenges of driving change in dynamic times. With us today we have a very special guest, Miss Nwabisa Gxumisa. Miss Nwabisa Gxumisa, welcome to our show. And please introduce yourself and tell us about who you are and what you do.
Greetings, Nondo, and thank you so much for inviting me to your show. My name is Nwabisa Gxumisa. I'm a dynamic woman, God's favorite woman. I've served in leadership positions in various organizations, which amongst them include the South African National Roads Agency. I have served in various platforms, encouraging youth, encouraging people. I've served also in social platforms, also entertaining, or not just entertaining, also in the fashion industry as a model for the fashion shows. So today I'm really interested to participate in your program, as I know that I've been once youth and now I've graduated from that platform. I'm where I am, but I've also enjoyed the youthful activities.
Oh wow, that is very remarkable. Now, Ms. Gxumisa, could you please share your perspective on the scale of change needed in today's leadership landscape?
That's interesting. In today's leadership, Nondo, we need the leaders with the agility to drive the propaganda of transformation. You know, transformation is not a very easy thing. It's easy to say it that we want transformation, but we do not understand that transformation is deeper than we can think. Transformation starts in your mind. We need transformed mind. We need transformed leaders. We need leaders that has got resilience. I'll make an example, what normally is a Goliath in transformation in our country. You'll find that we have good strategies in place to drive transformation. We have policies to support the transformation, but the Goliath to achieve that is the foot soldiers to ensure that the transformation agenda is being achieved or is being experienced. You need the people who are active on the ground. You need youth, leaders. You need communities that are really willing. You need that will, people who have got a will to drive that transformation. And transformation is not talking about white people or black people being the beneficiaries just because previously they haven't benefited. What is really needed currently is the united forces, united government that is able to collaborate, united communities that are able to collaborate with government, united youth that is able to collaborate and tap into the opportunities, united businesses. If you notice lately in our country, the hindrance with the leadership is the contestations. Leaders are jostling with power. And in leadership, you need unity, not jostling with power. You need collaboration to ensure that the transformation is driven, to ensure that you are leading, irrespective of the environment that you are leading in. But if you lead in an environment where there is unity, or you created that a conducive environment, the development is easy to thrive.
That is very beautiful, thank you. So tell us, in today's fiercely competitive landscape, how do you balance ambition with fostering a collaborative and inclusive culture?
Interesting one. That's really interesting. By the way, it's really challenging in today's environment because I will tell you, it's very difficult to balance the two. But what is very much significant is to ensure that each and every business, each and every person, each and every community is capacitated. In terms of the balance, it's a rocket science, honestly. But what is very much important is capacity development and building, because it is very easy to take shortcuts instead of balancing the two. You know that most people, they are scared of the competition. Yeah, once the environment becomes so much competitive, people take the shortcuts. Shortcuts that leads to, I will say, to a very challenging space. People can contest each other. That's where contestations come. That's where the strife will come within the communities, because that's where the strife will come within the businesses, because once the environment becomes so competitive, you know that most businesses, everyone would like to participate. You know that everyone will have his or her own ambitions. You know that in every community will have the dreams or the visions that they will have, but competition, it's very much difficult. But as leaders as well, we need to capacitate ourselves. We need to capacitate communities. We need to capacitate businesses, not just capacitation only, but we also need to ensure that there is collaboration, there is integration. Because if there is integration, where there is integration, where there is collaboration, it is very much easy to work collaboratively instead of dealing with the participation in silos. Also, as a person, if I make an example of the business sector, the reason why most businesses, and I'll refer to black businesses, the reason why they fail to collaborate. Because once the space is too competitive, everyone will want to overachieve instead of collaborating and creating those collaborative networks to ensure that the businesses, they grow together in business.
And that the goal is the same.
Exactly. Even in the formations that they create, where they have formations to work as collaboration, but the formations are not really working. You find that the competition is within the formations, and the businesses fail to collaborate. And it is very much important to capacitate the businesses to understand competition whilst they've got their own ambitions, whilst they've got their own visions, which is different visions. I'm sure you understand that in our country today, due to those interesting and challenging factors in our society, you find that people resort in immoral activities. They resort in immoral activities in businesses. They resort in immoral activities in our society generally. Even youth end up experiencing the mental health, because it's very difficult to deal with the real contentious issues. In the business space, that's why you find that there are a lot of these attacks that are going around. It's because people can't face competition. And competition is healthy. It's necessary. We can't be going through a monopoly and think that will improve. You can't improve in a monopolistic situation, but should we experience more of a lot of the players in the industry, that's when you see the improvement in services, the improvement in the well-being, the improvement in the socio-economic spaces, the improvement or even on the products, the improvement on the services, the improvement or even on the capacity. Because if there is healthy competition and we are competing in a conducive competitive space, then everything becomes easy and everything becomes a game.
In this discussion, I've gathered that you've spoken about a lot of important factors, which include a collaborative work environment, the importance of healthy competition and a conducive work environment. So could you please elaborate on the strategies that you've employed to promote innovation and growth while maintaining a supportive work environment?
On the working environment and ensuring that we have various strategies to support the work environment, I will categorize that into three groups that I once had interaction with, and maybe even in all the leadership spaces that I've been, or in all the management spaces that I've been involved, I will I will refer to the skills that I once. The strategy that we have, or once that I once implemented, that talks to communities, that talks to the youth, and that talks to small, medium, and micro enterprises. I will first start with you. Why youth? Not just because I'm dealing with you and I can see that you're still young. Youth is not aware about the programs that are tailor-made or customized for them. And it is very much important for the youth today, instead of sitting at home and getting frustrated with the unemployment. We know that there's unemployment in the country. We know that you've got unemployed graduates that are sitting at home looking for job opportunities. We know that the youth want to participate in the opportunities that are there, that the government opportunities that are meant for youth development. But the youth participation is very minimal. Why? It's because of information dissemination. Where do they get information? Do they know where to get information? Do they know where to exactly participate in the programs that are meant for them? Do they really understand their programs? That's a Goliath that I'm talking about when it comes to youth capacity development or youth capacitation. And in the programs that we once had, in my previous life, I once implemented a contractor development program. Yes, it was successful, but not to the level where you will feel that the youth has really and fully participated. I'll make an example of where I am involved in. Sanral, I will take an example from Sanral. Sanral has got good programs for youth. When it comes to transformation, we have got robust strategies that will ensure that the SMMEs are transforming, the youth is transforming, the youth is participating in our programs. But do the youth take advantage of that? Yes, they do, but I always feel it's still the minimal participation. They can still do better than what we are doing. They can still participate better than what they are really doing if they can capacitate themselves. Capacity development that I'm referring to, it's not referring to the education that they have. It's not referring to the degrees that they have. It's referring now to the applications itself. Do you tap into the opportunities of looking for those opportunities and apply? The reality in Togo is that youth will wait for the campaigns or awarenesses, will wait for government to have programs to the communities, but they don't approach government and tap into the opportunities that are available for them. Even if the strategies and the policies favor them and are at their advantage, but they are not tapping into what is at their disposal. And I would like to appeal to youth today, because we might have good strategies, but we would like to collaborate with youth, we would like to work with youth, we would like to ensure that the youth is participating at the maximum level to the opportunities that are available for them. We even have percentages in our transformation strategy to ensure that the youth is participating. We are involved in the N2 World Coast program, where we have 7 packages, we've got 2 bridges. But I'll tell you, we're still going to be there. We're still going to have opportunities, but the youth must come out. They must apply when there are available opportunities. They must approach us in our offices. Youth must not be confused and get involved in the business formations if they want job opportunities. They must differentiate. Do they want business or do they want to be employed? If they want job opportunities, they must apply. They must not go and be used by the other sectors that they will get these job opportunities. Youth today become so confused, and I understand what creates that. It's because they're vulnerable. It's because of desperation. And if we can have, we would like to have a collaboration with youth and discussions, ongoing or continuous engagements with youth to ensure that they participate, to ensure that we understand what they really want to participate to. Because out of desperation, they end up participating in various incorrect structures that won't be beneficial to them or that won't benefit them, whilst the opportunities are out there for them. Some of them who are in business, they really want to take shortcuts. There is this mindset of our people, not in any bad way, but people want to be millionaires overnight.
Yes.
The harsh reality is that there's nothing like that. Yes. You can sit with millionaires and understand and get to know how did they manage to get in the positions where they are. It takes them decades, it takes them years to build their wealth. So you can't be wealthy overnight. You have to work hard. You have to capacitate yourself. You have to expose yourself. You have to make sure that you are participating. You have to ensure that if you are in business, you are driving your vision. Driving a vision is not as easy as people would think. Driving a vision will include sometimes for you to bite the bullets. Not meaning literally, but it's difficult. That's what I'm trying to portray to the viewers, that it's not as easy as people would think.
And it requires a lot of discipline.
Exactly. If the youth today is not disciplined enough, as you are rightly saying, they might not be able to reach the level that they want to reach. You know what they do, if I make an example, not because there's anything wrong with that. They will work hard. Let's say they're in construction. They will work hard within that environment. They will earn a lot of money. What they do, they they go to a KZN if they're working here in Eastern Cape. They will go and spend money lavishly.
Yes,
that's what they do. They'll buy blinkers, but they're in construction.
Yeah.
You find that the business that they're running needs a buggy, but they'll buy a Mercedes-Benz.
Which is impractical.
They'll go out there. They'll spend money buying booze. Ask the millionaires, have they spent their money buying booze? Do they know how to invest? Do they know how to invest in themselves before they invest in businesses? Because before you can invest in your business, you start investment in yourself. You invest in your capacity. You invest in your well-being. You invest in your self-discipline. A lot of things that are involved when you're investing in yourself before you can get to invest in business. You invest in your business. It's all the journey that you have to go through. You don't just get the finances or the money that you wanted, the money that you've worked hard for, and then you spend it lavishly. You go out to hotels, you spend on things that are not going to bring any return on the investment or on the money that you are spending. Then you expect to be a millionaire. Those are the situations that we are experiencing. But I understand it's societal issues. The discipline is not there because maybe it was not instilled from the beginning.
And there's also status symbols that people want to show in the world.
Exactly. And people want belonging. They want to be in certain levels of acknowledgement. They want to be associated with certain people. So they work hard for that. And yet they're working for materialistic things that won't bring any return on their investment. But coming now to the business, the small, micro, and medium enterprises. We have strategies in place for the SMMEs to to ensure we support them in businesses. We have created collaborative networks. The strategies that talks, initially when we started our discussion, I talked about transformation. We have the transformation strategies. The transformation strategies are also hand in hand with our policies to ensure that we achieve the strategy, we achieve what we included in the strategy to ensure that these SMMEs are benefiting, and they're not just benefiting, they are graduating from a lower level to an upper level. But you know what's the Goliath in that is that the SMMEs, they don't really capacitate themselves. They don't really tap into the opportunities that are available for themselves. They want to take shortcuts. Other than that, there are barriers in development that I understand. Hence, the government brought in the strategies. There are barriers in transformation. Hence, transformation need radically people, need people with agility, need resilient people to ensure that the strategies are achieved. But the SMMEs also, they follow the same tune with the youth. The way they spend money, the way some SMMEs, they don't invest in their businesses. But other than that, SMMEs experience serious issues, especially on site. They experience capacity development issues. You'll find that people that goes to the construction industry are the people that never had any experience with the construction, but they go to construction because they want money. Yeah. Hence today, if you can talk about tenderpreneurship and entrepreneurship, you find that you're dealing mostly with people who are tenderpreneurs than the people who are entrepreneurs. They do not have a vision to drive their businesses to graduate from level 1 to the other levels. But they want opportunities. They want money for a living. There's a difference between an entrepreneur and a tenderpreneur. And now people are relying on tenders. Yes, tenders are bringing money. Tenders, it's business. And they get into that because of money. Hence, you find that they've got there are those barriers, and of which those barriers that government is dealing with. And we've got good strategies that are addressing all those gaps. And I'm not blowing our own horn at Sandral because we're achieving that. We've got our transformation policy is clear, it's very clear in terms of the percentage that we set aside for youth, the percentage that we set aside for women, percentage that we set aside for veterans, percentage that we set aside for business in general. And yes, what is happening on a day-to-day on site, sometimes it talks to what I've already mentioned, to the capacity development, because you find that our people are not capacitated enough to understand the sector. And it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Because sometimes you see SMMEs fighting with our contractors, it's because the transformation agenda or a transformation journey, it's never been a smooth street or a smooth trail. Obviously, there will always be that, there will always be those upheavals, and they will always fight because everyone wants to benefit in the piece of cake. But the way they want to benefit, they want to take shortcuts, some of them. But work needs to be done at the end of the day. But with all those strategies that we put on the table, there will always be a room for improvement. We keep on improving. We capacitate our SMMEs. We ensure that they're capacitated. We capacitate the youth. We ensure that they will be able to participate. Not just capacitation. We also have the platforms for engagement, because it is very much important to engage with the stakeholders. We engage with the stakeholders so that we understand what is it they really experience, what is it that they really go through, what is it that they really, what is it that challenges their businesses, so that we'll be able to close the gap. With that, with all those engagements that we are doing and that we are having, we can be able to see the difference and what we are really achieving. I promise you, we are doing everything possible to ensure that the youth and the SMMEs the gaps are addressed. And we ensure that those strategies are not just the strategies that will gather dust, but we are bankable enough that we can be able to implement them. We can be able, when we do our monitoring and evaluation, we can be able to track that we started from this level. Now we are, this we have achieved. We've not yet achieved this and that. We are able to track that because we are not just there to just saying we've done the strategy, but we are monitoring the strategies that we have developed to support the youth, to support the businesses. But also, businesses also have a responsibility to join hands with government. Our government today, Ntogo, I think you'll appreciate the fact that previously we never had Sanral never had 30% previously in all the projects that we've been doing throughout the country. But today, Sanral has got 30% in the programs that we're doing. And the businesses and youth must tap into that opportunity because you may never know when is it going to change, if it will ever change. But anything is possible in our world. Yeah, so they must ensure they join hands with government. They unite with government so that we can robustly converse and radically drive the transformation agenda. If we're not doing that, we're not joining hands with the business, we won't be able to drive the transformation agenda radically. We won't be able to employ or to ensure that those strategies are executed in a manner that will be satisfactory to them. It is very much important, especially to the people who are in business, not to always complain, but to introspect themselves, to introspect their businesses. Where are they lacking? Where are the gaps? Where can government close those gaps? And what is it that they can do to close those gaps as business before they come to government? When they come to government, they must come with the integrated approach. Same applies to youth. They need to introspect themselves. Where are the gaps? At some stage, they need to come up with the proposal to government of the strategies that we can implement to ensure that we are closing the gap. Unemployment is an issue, not just for youth, for everyone. We know no one ever anticipated that at some stage in our lives we'll have COVID. And COVID has done a lot of damage because people have lost jobs. And some of the people are headed by the youth because there are no parents to head those families. But with all what happened, it's not anyone's fault. It was not, but what are we doing? And people, what are they doing to join hands with government to ensure that we close the gap? It's time that each and every one of us, instead of complaining in the streets, instead of banning government assets that are already there, banning the roads, banning tires on the roads, it's vandalizing the assets that are already there. But what is it that we can do better? Can we come up with the strategies that will ensure that we're doing better? And coming to communities, the strategies that we employ because most of the time you'll find that the people who are involved in these strikes and stuff, it's the communities. Sometimes I feel sorry for them because they are being used. And sometimes they are being used by the same leaders that are leading them, which is so unfair. And what is it that we can do? Leaders need to lead with integrity. You can't be leading people today in a conducive environment, and then when challenges or turbulences hit home, then you go back to people, the same people that you're leading, you instigate them to be violent against your own government. And the same people, when things are good, they're not standing there and blowing their horns to say government is doing well.
Yeah, true.
Because government has done well. Government has got good strategies. Government has employed good strategies that have been benefiting communities. But then when things are not great, it's like we use blanket approach as if there's nothing that the government has done. Government has done a lot. Today, if we look at the development that is there, how many communities have been electrified? How many roads have been constructed? You never thought that in the N2 Wild Coast, as rural as it may be, you will have an N2 Wild Coast program, that is the development program that will benefit so much people. I mean, we are anticipating 26,000 indirect job opportunities, 8,000 job opportunities. But when there are challenges in the development or in that journey to ensure that we are achieving that, then you find that people, it's like a closed deal. They burn tires. I understand the frustrations, but can't we join hands? Can't we collaborate with communities in this development? I understand in our programs, it's an engineering sector. We're looking for technical skills, looking for people who are highly qualified and skilled. But then there are non-engineering opportunities for youth. There are non-engineering opportunities for SMMEs. And SMMEs can be innovative and come up with other programs that they can do. I mean, the opportunities, Ndoko, that I'm talking and I'm referring to, think about it this way. We've got engineers that are sitting in this Wild Coast to construct this road. You've got contractors, you've got a number of people, you've got suppliers, a number of people that are coming all over the world. You've got Chinese that are involved here. You had on the other side of the river, on the south bank of Lusigisigi, you had Portuguese that were involved initially. You've got people coming from all over the world. People are innovative enough to think about, where are these people going to stay, these engineers? Where are they staying? Do we have enough accommodation to accommodate them? Do we have skills to cater for them? Do we have skills to do laundry? Those are the opportunities that can benefit youth, but they need what? Innovation. And the strategies are there to ensure that the youth will benefit. Those are the opportunities that are there for the SMMEs. Are they approaching those people to ensure that they're benefiting? And then think about it this way, they will use their plant, they will use their vehicles. Who will supply tires? Who will supply this and that? And where are they going to eat? Where are they buying their groceries? Yes, they might be buying groceries in towns. Where is the entertainment? If they're not at home during the course of the month, what is the available places for entertainment? Those are the things that youth can think about it. Not all the people within this Wild Coast will participate in road construction. Other people can't participate on that. Others are looking for job opportunities, but others are looking at the opportunities that are available for construction. But those that can't do construction, whoever thought of, okay, fine, we can supply them with veggies, can supply them with food, can supply them with this and that, we can have entertainment center for them so that they've got no reason to move from Eastern Cape to KZN. Our province, especially Eastern Cape, where we work, and Wild Coast, it's a consuming province. We're just consuming what is being brought by other provinces to us. Are we thinking of those opportunities, and are we seeing them in a holistic manner that can benefit everyone that is within this Wild Coast? And the sad thing that I would like to land with, Togo, is the contestations. Oh, they are so ugly, they are so counterproductive. A lot of contestations, and the contestations, not just in business, wherever, in contestations in all angles, and that's so counterproductive in development. But if we can join hands, if we can work together, are the people thinking of who is, for example, have they think of the cooperatives, big cooperatives and wholesalers that can supply fuel? Who's supplying asphalt? Asphalt is important. There's no supply of asphalt within the Swahili Coast. Have they think of such opportunities? Have you think of tire centers? If they've got punchers on site, then people will be roving and deal with such things. But contestations are counterproductive because you think of the business idea. Let's say you get into accommodation. Everyone will want to go to accommodation, and they will contest you with the vision that you had of getting into accommodation. Yes, it can't be one person who will be in accommodation, but people must not start the business because they want to move someone else and then they can do that. Yeah. Other people, they're just copycats because maybe they're vulnerable or maybe they're frustrated. They just need money. But if you do not have a vision to drive what you want to drive as an entrepreneur, obviously it will fail. But then you don't have people must not go and contest those who have got a vision, those real entrepreneurs, because those entrepreneurs are creating job opportunities as well for the same community. We need to embrace what someone else has started, because at the end of the day, it's going to benefit someone else. You know, the culture of, it said, I'm going to say this, I'm black as well. The culture of the black person is to contest another black person, which is sad. Instead of learning, we need to learn from each other. We need to support each other. We need to embrace what someone else is doing, and we'll learn from that. We need to join hands with government in government strategies to ensure that we see what government is trying to do in terms of transforming the industries, in terms of the transformation agenda, in terms of creating job opportunities, in terms of ensuring that the inclusion in the economic development of our country.
Please tell us, what advice would you give leaders aiming not only to survive, but to excel in such demanding environments?
I'll start with a positive attitude. You know, I will encourage leaders to wear a positive attitude, not just have to wear. Every day. Something that you wear, it's not easy to take it off. Yeah. But if you have, it's easy to lose it. That's why I'm saying I'll encourage leaders to wear a positive attitude. Stakeholders can put you in a corner and can change the person you are, can change the manner you do things, can change your principles and values. But if you have a positive attitude, if you have patience, and I'll also encourage leaders, whenever they pray to God, to pray for wisdom. Leaders, as leaders, we lead with wisdom. We need to lead with wisdom, not just to lead with who we are, what we want to achieve for ourselves, the name we want to build for ourselves, but we need to understand the purpose that God created us for, and the purpose why you are in a particular position. You're in a particular position for a purpose, and you need all the time to introspect and to check and to look back and see if you're really working towards achieving the purpose of the position that you are. So hence it's very much important to understand that. And also I'll advise leaders to continue capacitating themselves. Continuous capacitation, because things are changing every now and again. I'll encourage leaders to collaborate. I love collaborative networks. I love them. You know what? You can't do everything alone just because you are a leader. You need to work with partners in development if you want to achieve development. We can have the budget to construct the road, but we might not have the funding for the businesses that we want to participate. But it may happen that one of the barriers that they can't participate is the funding that they don't have. But if you collaborate with DFIs, we can achieve that. We can achieve the vision that we have. Hence, I love collaborative networks. So as a leader, collaborative networks are very much important. You have to open your network a little bit bigger, but you must be sure that you are not just opening it to anyone. You must be wise in choosing the networks. And we must ensure that the approach that you use, it's not just the approach that is not going to benefit your stakeholders. So continuous engagement with stakeholders is very much important, because that's where you'll get the feedback. So continue to engage them, irrespective of the environment. Whether the environment is conducive or not, engage with them. Whether they attack you or not, engage with them until they stop attacking you, until they see you as an instrument. Because today they can attack you, they might be frustrated, but once they see that you are instrumental, you'll find that they'll give you a feedback. So it's very much important to continue with engagement. Listen to people, irrespective of their levels. Listening is very much important. Listen to even the people that you regard as enemies. Listen to them carefully. You may learn one or two things, or you may have takeaways from what you will gather from what they will be saying. So it's very much important. That's my advice to leaders. I won't say I'm an expert in leadership, but I believe that those key things are very much important to ensure that you are leading. And allow to be accountable. Account to your stakeholders. You must account. You know, if you are a leader that is not accountable, will think that is doing fine, yet you're not doing okay. So accountability is very much important. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you very much. I would say I've picked up that, in fact, I have a saying that says, no man is an island. So in your collaboration, I have only that to say. But thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Gxumisa, for sharing your invaluable insights on navigating transformation and leadership challenges. We look forward to having you on the next episode where you dive into leadership in turbulent environments.
Thank you so much, Ndoko. I appreciate it. It was such an honor to be invited in the platform.